Hey everyone, welcome back to the District 3 podcast. My name is Edwin, doing this episode hopefully in full video, as you can see here, and there's another camera here pointing at our guest. Today I actually had the honor of going to Las Cazuelas. If you haven't checked out Las Cazuelas yet in Springdale, it's amazing Mexican food, and it's owned by the Lujano family here in Springdale. They have, well, my recommendation is los huevos al albañil, which is like spicy eggs with potatoes and beans. A delicious meal, but they have other meals on their menu, and they're not advertising on the podcast. I'm just telling you because it's amazing food. So if you haven't checked out Las Cazuelas in downtown Springdale, please make an effort to do so. It's just maybe 2 minutes away from where we're recording this episode. Today I'm actually joined by a good friend who I've known for the past few years. I think in different spaces. I think we occupy a lot of the same spaces. With us is Crystal Schmidt. Crystal, I don't even call you by your last name most of the time. I just call you by Crystal. I think even your username on social media is just Crystal. So people might be discovering that your last name is Schmidt right now.
You are probably correct, which is, I mean, it's intentional and unintentional. I just, I feel like, I don't know. How many Crystals do you know? Probably not too many, but a handful. But mostly I go by Crystal Sells Houses on social media. If people really want my last name, they can find it.
They can be your friend first, and then you'll tell them. Or if they listen to this episode. But welcome to the podcast. I'm glad you're here. I feel like we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of common interests, just in general. It's very rare when I find a friend who has like the 3 points, the three most important points for me. And there's, I think it's only just you, Baxter, your partner, and Jerry, where it hits all three things. It's pro wrestling, soccer, and community. And with you, with Baxter, with Jerry, you hit those 3 points. So I can talk to you about like these three things that matter so much to me. So that's why I value your friendship. And you're also part of our immigrant rights organization as well. So we're glad to have you be part of the team. And I just kind of wanted to center this episode on community, to talk a lot about, you know, what community means to you, why it has become such a center point in your life, because you're also someone who like really throws yourself into the mix of what community is. You're not scared to just go into new spaces and meet new people and build these relationships. And I'm seeing that y'all are doing a good job of meeting new people since y'all got here, because sometimes I'll be in conversations with other people and then we'll end up saying like, oh, like Crystal, you know Crystal too. Oh yeah, I've saw Crystal at this event tabling. So it says a lot about, you know, your involvement and what you're doing to put yourself out there.
Thank you so much, Irvin. Yeah, I completely agree. It's been a real gift moving as many places that I've been to come to Northwest Arkansas, a place I had never even visited, much less thought about living there, and be able to throw myself into the community and just have everybody really welcome me with open arms. I know that doesn't come easily for a lot of people to be that open. So I don't take it for granted that I've found kindness in so many people here, and really been able to find a circle that accepts me fully.
And what, you know, you've moved to different parts of the country. I forgot all the states that you've moved to. I know one of them, you lived in Minnesota. Yes. But before then you lived in other parts, and so did Baxter as well. First of all, like I always ask this to people, like what state were you born in? Because I have no idea, because you've moved so much.
Yeah.
Where you're actually originally from.
Yes. I originated in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I lived there until 2013, and that's when I moved to Minneapolis. And Minneapolis was somewhere that I kind of had like almost a love affair with for many years. The hip hop community there, the social justice community there. I knew a lot of people from my neighborhood in Milwaukee who found their way to Minneapolis, and there were neighborhoods in South Minneapolis that very much felt like where I lived during my college years in Milwaukee, and that was kind of like, oh, maybe someday that could be my spot. And really Minneapolis ended up feeling like, oh, I'm going to live here forever. Like if I have a family, it's going to be here. And then eventually we kind of found our way into Chicago. And that's when Baxter and I kind of, even though we're both from Milwaukee, we linked up in Chicago.
Okay.
And that's where we started really our relationship. Even though we had known each other much longer than that. And then Rhode Island for a little bit too. Not a little bit, it was 6 years in Rhode Island. So I actually know quite a bit about Providence as well.
Is Minnesota diverse?
Incredibly diverse. Minneapolis, Minneapolis is a really big place in general, but really it's the Twin Cities metro area. So you have Minneapolis on one side of the river, St. Paul on the other side of the river, St. Paul being the capital. Hugely diverse, and whether it's the Hispanic population, there's a huge Somali population in Minneapolis that you truly just have to go and experience them because they're an amazing people. If you want to feel like you are somebody's family, a Somali family would be the people who will take you in. They're so kind.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's good that you say that just because of the like racist national rhetoric that we see all over, X and all these different like right-wing media spaces talking about, the Somali community and stuff and how they're pretty much under attack at the moment. I don't think I think right now I'm seeing a lot of attack on the Somalian community, but also like on just the Muslim community in general. So I'm glad that you have had good experiences that you can share with people so that people can kind of get out of that bubble sometimes that you find yourself on social media, especially if you like watch one video and then the social media algorithm just kind of throws other stuff at you. You're on X too, right? You've seen like the bad algorithm sometimes people will find themselves in.
It happens on all social media at this point. Like everybody always talks about like what side of TikTok are you on? So from that to now with Reels being fed to you on Facebook, you have suggested posts. So it's not even people that you're following. It's just what the algorithm thinks that you want to be seeing. And that comes off of the stuff that you start consuming and start seeking out on social media. So I do think it's really easy to get into a silo. And that's where you end up in that dangerous zone where people start having racist rhetoric and it becomes a very unhealthy place for somebody's mental state to be in something where you don't even know if it's real or not. Like these anecdotes that come out, how do you trust somebody that you don't even know? And I do hope that my speaking about my experiences living in different, very diverse communities can have an impact on people that like you're really not seeing things for what they are.
I always feel like people are just so gullible sometimes to really just believe what gets thrown in front of them media-wise, right? Because when you sit down and have a conversation with someone and really get to know, whether it be like an undocumented person, a person that follows Islam or different communities, like you'll learn that they're more like you than they are different from you, and that concept sometimes people don't understand until they find a person that they can relate to in their life where they're able to see the issue in a whole different way. I've met so many people, specifically white people, that will be super conservative, but then they have an undocumented person, either that is their neighbor, does contract work for them, or sometimes even cleans their house. And then you'll start seeing that person get empathy and be like, well, why doesn't, Josefina, why doesn't she have a pathway to residency? Like they can't understand or grasp the concept of why things are complicated because they never even thought about it. And it wasn't until it became a personalized issue for them where they actually took the time to really think about, someone's situation. And you seem like someone that, like I said, you will go up to someone and just say hi and like introduce yourself and stuff like that. So you have kind of, I wouldn't say had the opportunity because you've created the opportunity by going up to someone and getting to know them and like understanding different communities because of that. Would you say that's a fair assessment of who you are? Because you're not a shy person. You just go up to people and. start talking to people?
Actually, I need everybody to know that I am incredibly shy. I just forced myself to be uncomfortable. And the reason that I do that is because I've learned that that's what helps me build my community and strengthen my spot in my community, is to be a voice, whether it's speaking on behalf of other people based on what I'm learning about them. And truly, I guess really what it comes down to is I just listen. Like as much as it is about going up and saying hi to somebody, really what it is tell me about yourself. And I think that's one of the most valuable things that I can do, is just learn as much as I can about human lived experience. And to go off of what you were saying about people needing to have like a personal attachment to something in order to care about it. I think there's a lot of people who suffer from the idea that it's why didn't you go after this when it comes to documentation and citizenship? And instead we should be asking the question of, why have we made it so difficult for this to be a clear path of here's what I do, and why are we constantly changing where the goalposts lie?
There's so many people that I know that if there was a right way to become a U.S. resident, they would have done it a long time ago. There's a lot of people that are on DACA who have no pathway to residency or citizenship unless they marry a U.S. citizen. Like, do you really want people to just marry someone simply because of their status? No, people are going to do that, right? Because they have to do that. But that shouldn't be the only option. There should be a pathway for folks, especially folks that have been here for a while, have been, contributing not just economically, but just with their humanitarian, themselves, just them, their humanity, and then other contributions that they, the love they give to the community. And then we'll put the economic part all the way to the end, because I know some people care about that the most. So just thought I'd mention that. But yeah, I feel that you seem like someone that's like a very safe person in the community, even though you're new here. But I feel like when people meet you, they very fast feel that you're a safe person. Is that something that you put thought into it, as to like, what can you do to feel like a safe person for people in your community?
Always. Being a safe person for others is hugely important to me, because I know that there are many people whose even their homes aren't safe. And for me to be able to be a place that, okay, well, Crystal's house would be safe, or if Crystal's going there, it's probably going to be a safe situation for me to go to. And that extends to the things that I go out and do in public, whether it's going to concerts or wrestling events. I'm only seeking out venues and companies and bands that I would feel comfortable bringing people from any walk of life to, whether you're part of LGBTQ community or the undocumented community, immigrant community. If you're whatever religion you subscribe to, or no religion at all, like, I just want to be in spaces where it really doesn't matter, and that we truly do see the humanity in you before anything else, your economic contributions or otherwise, like you said. Yeah.
So then, do you like to publicly identify as like straight edge? Like, is that something that you still kind of tell people when you're talking about yourself?
I don't know that I like walk up to people like,
hey,
hey, nice to meet you. I'm straight edge.
You don't have the X's already in your hands?
I do have a little, the Minor Threat Black Sheep from the Out of Step album artwork tattooed on the back of one of my arms. So I would say that's like my straight edge calling card for people.
I was proud of being straight edge when I would tell people whenever I was straight edge.
I have a lot of straight edge clothing.
I was bragging about it all the time.
Yeah, I love being straight edge. I've been straight edge since I was 15. So my straight edge can definitely drive at this point. I'm becoming that Jurassic period old.
I admire people that don't drink, because it's like, how do you do it with everything going on? Like, how do
with ice cream?
Oh, with ice cream. I don't know if ice cream
with ice cream and a good cry.
I don't know if ice cream would be enough for me. And it's like, for me, it's more about I'll have one day a week where I'm gonna have 3 or 4 drinks with friends, and we're gonna talk about the stressors of everything that's going on. And the thing with me is that I don't get hangovers, and I don't drink to the point where I feel bad the next day. So like it'll just be a night of fun, and that's it. And I'm able to at least escape a little from everything going on, and loosens me up a little bit. I don't have a problem like talking to people. I'll talk to people all day without any kind of alcohol or anything, but it just kind of, makes the vibe a little better. But I try to have about 2 months a year where I do no alcohol for a month to reset. And one of the things that I really like about those months is that I really focus on my fitness, and it's just priority. I don't have to worry about like having not worry, but like sometimes people invite you to like go get a drink or stuff. And I just kind of shifted to more like, hey, let's go to Café con Chisme and get like a coffee or a non-alcoholic drink. And it really allows me to feel good. And my health anxiety usually is really low during those months, And I think it's something that I think about a lot, because I think I mentioned this to you. My dad died because of alcoholism. So like he had cirrhosis of the liver, and and we've talked about this a lot of the times on the podcast, how I'm very self-conscious about my alcohol consumption. And I think about it a lot, where I limit myself. And sometimes I talk to my friends that also drink, and they really don't think about it that much. They're just kind of like, whenever I drink, but I overthink it. But I think it's good for my health that I overthink it, because I'm more cautious and I drink less because of that. But I just thought it was important to mention this in this episode, because I feel like every time we hang out, I'm always drinking, because it's like a wrestling show. It's mainly those kind of events that we've hung out, or like the Ozark United when they had the brand reveal.
Yeah.
Which was at a brewery.
Yeah. We occupy a lot of spaces that have alcohol at the ready. I think that's our culture, really, is what it comes down to. Being born and raised in Milwaukee, when I tell people that I had my last drink at 15, I'm being dead serious that like I was drinking alcohol before I was 15, because it was just so normalized. And in Wisconsin, the law allows parents to bring their kids to bars. Like that's not abnormal to see children in those spaces. Now you see it at like breweries, tap rooms, things like that. But like I'm talking like you could bring your kid to a dive, like a CD. I mean, back in the day, they'd be smoking cigarettes in the bars. It was just normal. So I don't know. To me, it like seeing my friends drink, it's not abnormal, because it's something that I've always been around.
And like, y'all go to a lot of rock shows too, right? So y'all see that there are like rock shows and stuff that y'all go to. Just drinking.
If somebody's like out of control with their alcohol, like, are we gonna like distance ourselves from them? Probably. Yeah. Like, I don't want somebody to like spill their beer on me or get violent for some reason. Some people are friendly drunks, some people are not. But yeah, I don't know. I've never I would never say that I've been somewhere with you and been like, Irvin's like out of control. Like, no, like
I was thinking about this the other day.
Anybody has drinks. It's not a thing to me.
Because I was thinking about this, like, I think it was like 3 weeks ago. I was like, every time I hang out with Crystal and Baxter, I always have a drink. Because I'm like, the wrestling shows, the time that we went to the double date with our partners, I had like a margarita or two. When Baxter came over our house for the game night, everybody was drinking too. I was like, damn, like I need to hang out with them in more like where there's no alcohol, where I could just not drink, you know. But when I'm around people that I care about and we're just having a good time, it's just so easy to just have a drink and just be in the moment. But enough alcohol talk.
Okay.
I want to talk to you about Ozark.
Straight edge for life.
Hashtag. I want to talk to you about your involvement in organizations like Ozark United and then also Razor Pro Wrestling. You've been doing a lot of work for Ozark United, just kind of being at all these different events, tabling, selling stuff. You know, you wear the brand on your forehead and you tell people about everything that you're doing. How excited are you about Ozark United just in general? Because I know you were involved with the soccer team wherever you came from, and you care so much about, women in soccer. I know that you either run a Facebook page. Do you run that Facebook page about the like the women involvement in soccer, or is that something that you just kind of share a lot about? It's like a page that on Facebook that talks about. I think it's like our game.
It's Her Game Too.
Her Game Too.
I'm not directly involved with them, but I am friends with Tasha, who is one of the representatives of Her Game Too USA. So this, like, Her Game Too is like something that started, I think, in the UK. But everybody forgive me if I'm not getting everything factually correct. But they've brought that over here and really tried to get fans, spaces that host like watch parties for games or matches, and teams, coaches, everybody, athletes on board with creating an equal playing field for women in the sport. That's something really, really cool. And we're very lucky to have Tasha here.
And I've seen that you've been sharing a lot of their stuff on social media. So soccer is a big part of your life, kind of like what I said, kind of brings us together as friends, right? One of the things that brings us together. Can you talk about like the excitement that you have just for Ozark United in general, of it being a thing here? And maybe, talk a little bit about the work you've done in the past few, what is it, like a year and a half, 2 years that you've been involved with Ozark United?
Yeah, it's about 2.5 years-ish. That I've been involved with Ozark United. I am very excited for pro soccer to be coming to Northwest Arkansas, and for just pro sports in general to be here. I think it's the right time, is what I truly believe. And so I got involved with Ozark United because I went to a listening session and discovered that Wes, the managing director, so I got here like a month before they announced intentions of the pro team coming here. And as soon as they announced that, I was like, oh, this is perfect, because I had just left Rhode Island, where they had just gotten everything underway and the stadium under construction for Rhode Island FC, which is another USL championship team. So I'm all decked out in my Rhode Island FC gear. I am already coming from Minneapolis, where we have Minnesota United, and I had been involved with Minnesota United from when they were back in the NASL. So before they got to MLS through their bid. And I was heavily involved with like supporters culture in Minnesota, and I was excited about replicating that in Rhode Island. I was like, dang, okay, I'm missing this window because we have to move. And then they announced Ozark United, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go and see, what the vibe is. And I went and discovered that Wes Harris, the managing director for Ozark United, and really the only employee at the time, had also been a season ticket holder for Minnesota United, same exact time that I was. Somehow our paths never crossed. So I'm a firm believer that the universe is always working to bring the right people together at the right times. So I just offered my services, like whatever you need. I'm a real estate agent, so I have the ability to move things around my schedule, create gaps for myself, whatever that, if it's an admin role that you need somebody to push around paperwork, shoot out emails, I'll do it. I got invited to be on the street team, which Wes was very upfront, like, you're not going to get rich doing this. And I was like, not really trying to get rich. I just love soccer so much. And I went to one event, and Wes was like, do you want to maybe manage our events? And I was like, yeah, why not? I'll take all the gear, keep it in my garage. So that's kind of how that all started. But I very quickly have found myself wearing many different hats for Ozark United. So I help work with our partnership activations with our corporate sponsors, who are amazing, for our academy. I help with our merchandising, creating cool merch pieces. I hope you all like them. And I also help run our social media. So we've got a small social media team that gets a lot of information out to people, whether it's stuff about the academy, about USL, because a lot of people might not have an idea here, especially about the league that we're joining, how the pyramid structure works for that. Promotion relegation is a new thing for a lot of people across the entire United States, unless you've been following like European soccer models. So to be able to be a part of soccer here has been a really it's a gift for me.
Do you think that you would ever, like, if the opportunity arises, like you would be down for it to be like your full time to be with like Ozark United?
Yes, and I really did say as much when I sat down with Wes, Warren, and Chris, the latter two being our co-founders for Ozark United. I sat down with them to talk about coming on as managing the street team, and we had a conversation about like, is this something that you would want to pursue long term? And 100%. Soccer is a passion of mine.
Dream job, huh? That'd be like a dream job.
It really is, yeah. And being somebody who, like, I went to school for journalism and mass communications. So, I mean, you would think that I would be running a route towards like, I would want to like tell stories through like a news outlet or something. And I apply what I know from that format to I'm telling stories every single day that I'm out in the community talking about soccer. And it's really, really cool to be able to do that from a standpoint of, not saying that I don't have any sort of like a barrier to it, like the way that you might with like a journalism lead, but like our team really is trying to reach every single person who could possibly care about soccer. And it might be in a way that you wouldn't expect it. Like I'm taking us to wrestling events and people would be like, wrestling fans aren't going to care about like sports because that's like the preconceived notion of like, oh, well, wrestling's not a real sport, but it absolutely is. And the fandom is very similar to soccer fandom. You want to yell at the bad guys, which in soccer would be the other team, come to a soccer match and you're going to be yelling at the bad guys. Go to a wrestling event, you're going to be yelling at the bad guys. You want to sing songs? Everybody sings the songs for wrestling people when they come out. Why don't you come sing some chants with us in the supporters section? It's it's really, really cool to be able to tell stories and to connect things that I'm passionate about, I know that you're passionate about, and to be able to get into our community that way.
I'm glad you shot your shot whenever you went to that listening thing and you told them like, hey, I'm interested. Let me know how I can help. I did something similar with them too, because I was invited to the I don't know if there's an NDA, but I was invited to be part of a process to help with branding and stuff like that. And I also, I think it was Wes. I forgot if it was Wes. And it was one of them. And I was like, I would love to be involved anyway. Anything you need me for, community outreach or whatever, like I'm down, whenever I have capacity to, because I'm also very busy. And then like maybe 8-9 months later, I found myself on stage for the brand reveal. And they asked me if I was surprised. I was surprised that they wanted me to speak, but I was like, I'm down. Like I love this. I love soccer. I love, or what if you call it football, whatever name you prefer. And I love this since I was a little kid. I've participated in it. Love Ted Lasso. Love FIFA. I play FIFA every day. And I have, my team Real Madrid I watch every week, and I'm a super fan. So anything that I could help out with, I would also, always been very open to letting them know. And I'm just excited for what that's going to look like for our area. And I just want us to have, a soccer team that we can show up and support, and it can become part of the culture. So I'm excited also for what like Ozark United is going to be doing for like the World Cup, be doing hosting all these events and just getting the general interest of people, maybe people that are not soccer fans, and convert them to soccer fans. So I'm guessing that you're very excited about that too, because it's coming up like in 2 months, the World Cup begins?
Yeah, it's coming up pretty quickly, and we will be doing some cool stuff, some activation stuff for World Cup here, as it's being hosted in North America across the 3 countries. And I don't know. We haven't publicly stated exactly what we're going to be doing, but there will be some cool watch party opportunities. I know that we're trying to host something with you as well over at Odd Soul. Hopefully, I think we've got that locked down. So yeah, stay tuned for cool.
Stay tuned to that Ozark
watch party stuff. Yeah, there's going to be some fun things. Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah, Ozark United FC on social media. Our group is awesome. We are plugging full steam ahead on getting things up and running, ramped up. Our academy is wrapping up their first MLS Next season. So this is like with 6 academy teams. It's been a lot of kids and their families that we've been working with. We just had a signing day for our U19s this week, which was really cool. We had every player from our U19s except a offer to play college soccer, which is like mind blowing. Like we're sending all these kids to school.
So cool.
Yeah, it's really good to see, and to be able to continue their playing careers is great.
Well, just excited to see what Ozark United does in the near future for our community and for soccer. You're also very involved with pro wrestling. We just had, when people are listening to this episode, last week they would have heard Anna Ray join us on the podcast from Razor Pro Wrestling. You're involved with Razor Pro Wrestling. Can you tell us a little bit about what it is and a little bit about your involvement?
Yeah, Anna Ray is a very good friend, so I'm glad to hear that she's on the podcast too. So Razor Pro is a